Bum, 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 bum. Today on, I have too many pictures of amigurumi on my phone. We have... Where in the... Snick Snack are those? Oh, here. Where's the... Here. This is a good picture. So, when you stack your increases, you get this... You can see here, it's clearly a point to another point. Down to another point. Yeah, here. You can see here, there's points. So this is what you do when you stack increases. Libelis, are you putting pineapple on pizza again for your recess? So, in some ways, it's great, because for Vaporeon, we need those points on her neck frill, right? Points. We need those. So stacking your increases, fine. Now, on something like... Hang on. Ba-da-da-da. Where is the best example is going to be... I think it's going to be the flower pot. Oh, you're not going to see it on the flower pot. Are you? Maybe you will. Alright. Censorship. There is some profanity coming up on the screen. You have littles. Maybe don't let them see the screen right now. Okay. For no stacked increases, we've got our very rude cactus. But if you can see here, you don't have the points. You don't have a definitive where is the increase. Right? Profanity. It was a very offensive gesture. So here in this light brown area, you don't see the increases. There's no points. And that's because my increases in this one are staggered. Alright, you guys want to see the profanity? There it is. It's a cactus that's flipping off the world. Okay? No littles need to be watching this part. Here's another one. On the pot, I've staggered my decreases at the bottom. So again, you don't see where the decreases are. So, let me show you how to do that on this body. Such a cute music box, and I just put a rude cactus flipping off the world. So, what you want to do is on the rows that are even numbered. Guys, on the rows that are even numbered, you're going to split your single crochets. So in this row, we're supposed to single crochet 2 and then do an increase on the 3rd stitch, which means we can split up our 2 single crochets. This requires math. Should be an emote, right? Rude cactus should totally be an emote. Does anyone do art? Can they make me that emote? I will pay you. So, for this row, because we're going to be staggering our increases, we're going to just single crochet to start, and then we're going to increase. Now we're going to continue as normal. So we're going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase. And what that's going to do is it's going to stop our increases from being on top of each other. So this one's going to be 1, 2, and then this one is going to be the increase. And then 1, 2, and then an increase again, all the way around, till you get to the end, where you're going to get confused if you don't remember what you're doing. Increase. 2. Increase. 1, 2. And then this is your increase. And then you're going to go, oh no, I miscounted. There's an extra stitch. This extra stitch is actually from this set, because remember we did a single crochet and an increase instead of 2 single crochets and an increase. So this is just going to be a single crochet. Ta-da! Now, your next row is going to be 3 single crochets and an increase, right? Because we're going to get bigger. So for this side, because we're not going to be stacking our increases, we're going to put the increase over here. So we're going to crochet 3 and then increase. As normal. As normal. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to put our increase. And we're going to repeat that all around. So this is in the instructions where it's got the little asterisks or brackets, and it says single crochet 3, INC. INC being the abbreviation of increase. And they'll be in the brackets, or they'll be on either sides of the little asterisks. That means you repeat that, and then it'll say on the outside how many times you repeat it. So for this one, we're going to be repeating it 6 times. So we're going to have a grand total of 30 stitches. This is where you guys go, are you counting? And then you start putting numbers in chat. Or Offspring comes by and he starts, you know, saying the numbers. And you're like, please, be quiet while I'm counting. Thankfully, we've got that stitch marker in the beginning, so no big deal. Again, as Ines said earlier, it's totally fine if you're out by 1 stitch. Just add it in the end. Not a big deal. Again, you'll know the mistake is there, but will anyone else? Absolutely not. Wait a second. Please hold. I've already messed myself up. Yeah. And 30. Perfect. I don't know what I was doing, but I was doing too many single crochets and not enough increases. So you can already see on the outside here that our increases are staggered. So we don't have the same kind of line forming that we have on this one. How did this lesson come to be? Oh, Beppe is learning to crochet and asked how you start. So we went over magic rings and different ways to start. We did the chain 2 start as well, just because that's technically the easier way. So this is the 3 single crochets and an increase. So your set of 5. So the next row is, wait for it, an even number. So what are we going to do? We're going to split it to stagger our increases. So the next row is crochet 4 single crochets and then an increase. So we're going to stagger it by crocheting only 2 in the beginning. That'll leave us 2 single crochets on this side. Do not get confused. You did not mess up your count. There are going to be 2 single crochets on this side to complete the original set. That way your increases are staggered. Again, math. So the easiest way to stagger your increases is to do it on even rows. Yes, you can do it on odd rows too, but why? When you can do it on the even numbered rows and it's less math. Anytime you can less math is better. You'll be back after work, hopefully. I don't know if I'll be online after work, Batgirl, because I'm going to be at a stitch and chat teaching my girlfriends how to crochet. We're going to crochet slimes from Genshin. So I might not be on when you get off. Sorry. So yeah, stacking increases. Don't do it. So we'll go ahead on this row and we're going to, again, we're going to divide it. Thank you, Batgirl. We'll see you later. So we're going to divide our next row of stitches again. So moving our stitch marker, we're going to single crochet 2 and then immediately increase. So for these instructions on this row, you're going to see single crochet 2, increase, and then the continuation of the row, comma, with the open bracket or with an asterisk. I prefer an asterisk, but open brackets make sense too. So either brackets or asterisks, you're going to see single crochet 4, increase, repeat 5 times. Not 6, because we're going to do the 6th one is here is the unfinished one. So, single crochet 4, increase 5 times. So sets of 6. If you took dance, you'll count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. 2, 2, 3, 4, increase. 3, 2, 3, 4, increase. Sometimes it's super helpful like that. That way you know how many times you've done it. Or you can just put stitch markers. If you've got enough stitch markers, you can mark the end or the beginning of every set so you know how many you've done. This is going to be our last one. So again, we're going to be left with our 2 single crochets to finish our first set. So you're just single crochet there, and you've moved your increase now, right? So it's not stacked up. You've still got a really nice finish, and it's super round. If we were doing this the other way, you would already see points forming over our stacked increases. You've got loads of stitch markers. I mean, I have some too, but they're more like snacks. So I forget to put them in because once I start putting them in and I take them out for the next row, I put them in my mouth instead of putting them back in the crochet pieces. It's terrible, and I know I need to stop doing it. Like, I know. So that finishes the last even row, right? So 4 and an increase, but you've split it up over the start of the work. That way your increases have moved. Less math, because again, even stitch. Are they really edible? No, they're not. They are fun to chew, though. If you chew them too much, they get misshapen, or they break. Like, where is it? I have a broken one. I was chewing on one of these hard ones, and I broke it here. It's really not edible. I mean, yeah, anything's edible if you try hard enough. Like, back in the day, they would take the leather from boots and books and boil them to non-existence almost to make leather jerky. I mean, yeah. If you're dedicated and you're hungry, anything is edible. Is it safe to eat these? Absolutely not. If you have littles, these are choking hazards. Have I accidentally choked on one of these? Yes. Am I still going to put this in my mouth and chew on it? Absolutely. Should you let your little do it? No. If you have a little offspring, a little cousin, a little anything, a little, or a pet, these are bad. Will they come out the other end? Yes. Could it do damage on the way through? Absolutely. Would not. 10 out of 10. Would not recommend for pets or littles. As an adult, I know I shouldn't swallow this. I just chew on it. You were gonna say pets. Yeah. If you have littles or pets, do not let them eat these. Is it dangerous? Absolutely. It's a choking hazard. It can, this one, because it's rigid, it can do damage on the way through. I'm sure if you go into the hospital, they're just going to be like, oh, well, you know, it's just going to make its way through. And you're going to have to make sure that it comes out the other end. Still, very damaging if you swallow them. I do the whole focus thing where I chew on my tongue. It's a stimming thing that I did in school because back in my day, when you had ADD or you had ADHD, you didn't really get any special treatment. There wasn't really any medications unless it was super bad. So most of us found ways to stim while masking. For me, it's chewing my tongue, which after 3 to 4 hours of focusing is very bad for your tongue because then it gets blisters or it gets sore or it gets swollen. It's just not good for me. So what I replaced it with this is terrible. What I replaced it with instead of chewing gum is I've replaced it with stitch markers or pen lids. Not the pen, the lid. Or, you know, little things like the backs of the eyeballs, the little plastic washers. Because then my tongue doesn't hurt at the end of the day when I've crocheted all day. Is it safe? Absolutely not. Are there better ways? Probably. But I'm so set in my ways now that habits are hard to break. Get chewing gum. Yeah. But I would go through so much chewing gum in it. I would go through so much chewing gum. I thought about getting one of those mouth guards that they use in wrestling. I've thought about that, but I have not tested that theory yet. That a mouth guard would probably be better for me. Which, in the long run, it probably will. Because it's supposed to stop you from biting your tongue. I don't put anything metal. First off, I want to assure you I've never put anything metal. It's only plastic or rubber. One, because metal will break your teeth. And dental procedures to fix chipped teeth really are expensive and not fun. Start a wish list for kitten and it's just chewing gum and yarn. It's those, no, you know what you get for the infants that are just starting to cut their gums to get their teeth out? What are they called? Teethers? I don't know, what do you call them now? Binkies? Suzettes? Pacifiers? But they're like a ring and you can make them cold and they just chew on the ring. It's stimming to have something in your mouth because you're playing a game and you always need, yeah, snacks. Get a pacifier for kitten. I mean, you guys aren't wrong. And I do have snacks. I have chocolate covered raisins. But the amount of snacks I was eating was ridiculous. Okay? So that's why these are called forbidden snacks. Alright. So, enough with the pacifiers for kitten. We're moving on to the next row. So the next row and the final row for this one, because it'll get us to our 42 stitch count that we need, is going to be 5 single crochets and an increase. So for this one, we're not going to be breaking up the stitches. We're just going to straight up do 5 single crochets, 4, 5, and then the increase. Now repeating this 6 times will get us to 42 stitches. So now you're eating stitch markers. Sorry for interrupting the lesson. Go on. You guys. Look, I was putting on an unhealthy amount of weight. Because healthy snacks are healthy, but only in moderation. And I didn't want to... pacifier for kitten 2024. You guys. Gets me a teething ring. Oh, did you... are you getting for a new baby? Are they teething? No. I'm getting it for my streamer friend. She's eating stitch markers. You guys. Go fund me for pacifiers for Hey, kitten, do you have a throne? Did you set up something on throne? Oh, where are the pacifiers? You guys. Oh. You guys. I will look into getting one of those ones that wrestlers use, the mouth guard, to see if that works. It means I would talk funny, but I would not be chewing my tongue. Right now, I'm not chewing my tongue because I'm talking to you guys. So, you know, it could be argued that since I've started streaming, I have not been eating stitch markers. Do I have a throne? No, I haven't set one up yet. I was thinking about it, though. But it really would just be yarn. And maybe a couple of crochet hooks, but, like, mostly yarn. Should I set up a throne? Can you make suggestions? Absolutely. Granny squares for beginners. A complete guide. Absolutely, you can totally make suggestions. another ring light so that I can have one on this side so that the brightness is even. Pacifiers and gum. You know what? You know what? While I'm commuting to my Stitch and Chat, we don't call it Stitch and Chat. There's another word that rhymes with Stitch that we use instead. While I transit to my Stitch and Chat, I will make a throne. I wasn't sure if that's something I should do. All right, so we finished the row. We have 42 stitches. As you can see, it's nice. It's round. And if we look at this side, our increases are staggered. So, in comparison, you can see the difference, right? You don't have these clearly defined increase here, like these. Right? You don't have it on this one. Just smooth crochet stitches. Do I wear glasses when I crochet? I do now. I have to. The eyeball doctor was like, you have 2 stigmatisms. One in each eye. You need to wear glasses. Pineapple pizza. Ooh, spaghetti bolognese. Nice. Never pineapple on pizza. Oh, what was the other one that we were talking about yesterday? Sweet corn. What about sweet corn on pizza? Pineapple pasta? I mean, I don't know if I would put pineapple on pasta. You don't know what it is? How do I describe sweet corn? It's corn that's sweet. And it's a little bit... It's got sauce with it. It's a little bit mushy. Get silicone bean dangles for the glasses. Oh, and then I can chew on the silicone beads. Apple pines. That's pineapples backwards. It's pineapples backwards. It's the same thing. So going back to the stacked increases versus the not stacked increases. As you can see in a lot of my work, I stack the increases because I'm lazy and I don't want to do the tiny bit of math that we just did now. But when you don't stack your increases, you get a nicer, smoother finish. And it's hard for people to go like, oh, I love your Cyndaquil. Buy it and then copy the pattern by counting your stitches because they can see where you did your increases. Caught red-handed? Yeah, you're caught red-handed still putting pineapples or apple pines. Can a person who is following this lesson comprehend what Kitten is telling? I hope so. That would be Pepe. Yeah. If Pepe can get it. Don't stack your increases. She says, knowing full well that she's done it everywhere on her amigurumi. You get a smoother finish. Ultimately, if you're writing patterns to sell, you want to do it this way. People who are doing your patterns for themselves like this look a lot more than this look, where you can clearly see the stacked increases. So, again, if you're doing something that needs points, stack your increases. It's recess! GG's, everyone, you made it. You get your 10-minute break. You get your 10-minute break to practice. Chaos. Oh, the chaos. All right. How do we best viewers.